everyone, I want to introduce myself. My name is Reni Sarinda Ambarita and I'm from 11 Tourism Department 1. And now I want to explain about Bengkulu Province. So let's get started. Bengkulu Province is located on the west coast of the Sumatra Island. This province has a coastline of 525 km, which is directly connected to the Indian Ocean. Several other provinces that border inland areas are West Sumatra Province and Jambi Province in the north, South Sumatra Province in the east, and Lampung Province in the south. The region consists of 9 districts and 1 city, and 126 sub-districts with an area of 19,919.33 km². The administrative area is the form of district are South Bengkulu, Rejang Lebong, North Bengkulu, Seluma, Kaur, Muko-Muko, Lebong, Kepahyang, and Bengkulu City. Meanwhile, one administrative area in the form of a city area is Bengkulu City. This Bengkulu can be divided into 3 physiographic regions, namely the lowlands along the west coast, the hills in the central region, and the mountains in the eastern region borders Jambi and South Sumatra. This province is also located in an active collision zone of 2 tectonic plates, namely the plate in the Australian and the Eurasian plate. Referring to this condition, this province is prone to earthquakes, tidal waves, flood, and landslide. Drought also occurs in this region. Bengkulu Province is the coastal and west coast areas Bengkulu Province, so the air temperature is hotter than in the area inland and mountains. The average temperature of coastal areas is 26 degrees Celsius, while the hottest maximum air temperature ever recorded was 36 degrees Celsius until 37 degrees Celsius. The west coast area has a tropical climate. Lowest air temperature ever recorded is 10 degrees Celsius. In this area, in fact, influenced by monsoon and the southeastern trade winds. The northwest monsoon blows between December until March. It rains in the western areas. It's the rainy season, northwest season. Bad weather often occurs, especially at sea. Average speed up to 10 kilometers per hour. In bad weather, wind speed ranges for 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. Between May and October in mountainous areas like the peak of Mount Blumut, a strong wind blows toward the west and southwest. Bengkulu Mayor Helmi Hasan will change the names of dozens of intersections or roundabouts. The names of heroes and former mayors will be embedded in dozens of roundabouts. Helmi said he will replace all roundabout names with the names of people who have contributed to the city of Bengkulu. For example, Simpang Ratu Sampan changed to Fatmawati roundabout. Helmi Hasan said that the names of previous mayors would also be immortalized at the roundabouts. This is an appreciation for their dedication to building the city of Bengkulu. According to him, the change was an effort to erase the names given by the colonialists and that time to Bengkulu City. The following is an list of intersection that will change their names, namely Simpang Ratu Samban, intersection 5, becomes because the Fatmawati roundabout. 2. Simpang Kampung Bali becomes the M. Salim Karim roundabout. 3. Sukamrindu intersection becomes M. Zen Rani roundabout. 4. Simpang Jam becomes the KZ Abidin roundabout. 5. Skip intersection becomes Khairul Emri roundabout. 6. The provincial DPRD intersection becomes the Chalik Effendi roundabout. 7. Simpang Harapan becomes the Ahmad Rusli roundabout. 8. The SLB intersection becomes the Tabri Hamzah roundabout. 9. Simpang Pagar Dewa becomes Sulaiman Effendi roundabout. 10. The Polda intersection becomes the Hasan Basri roundabout. 11. The Knockout intersection becomes the Ahmad Kennedy roundabout. 12. The Panorama intersection becomes the Hamzah Saari roundabout. 13. Simpang for Pantai becomes the Syarifuddin AR roundabout. And 14. The BI intersection becomes the Fadilah roundabout. Bengkulu Dutch is called Bengkolen or Bengkulen. In English it is called Bencoen, while in Malay it is called Bangkahulu. There are many stories about the origin and name of Bengkulu. Some say the name Bengkulu comes from Malay, with the word bang meaning bang, and kulon meaning Bengkulon. The pronunciation shift changed from bang to ben and kulon to kulu. Traditional sources say that Bengkulu or Bangkahulu comes from Bangkai and Hulu, meaning the churches in the upstream. It is said that there was a war between the kingdoms in Bengkulu. This battle resulted in many casualties from both sides in the upper reaches of the Bengkulu River. These victims become unburied carcasses in the upper reaches of the river. Over time, the pronunciation changed to Bangkahulu or Bengkulu. Of the many stories about the origin of Bengkulu, there is a story that is well known to the people of Bengkulu, namely the story of the war agent the Acehnes who came to propose to Princess Gading Cempaka, the daughter of Ratu Agung Sungai Serut. In the story, it is said that the proposal was rejected, causing war. Anak dalam, the sibling of Princess Gading Cempaka, who replaced Ratu Agung as King of Sungai Serut, sought Empang Kahulu. That means stop them and don't let them set foot on our land. From these words, the word Bangkahulu or Bengkulu was born. In 1685, the British entered Bengkulu led by Captain G, and using 3 ships named the Kaisar, the Resolution, and the Defense, which colonized Bengkulu for approximately 139 years, 1685 until 1824. During this period, hundreds of British soldiers died of cholera, malaria, and dysentery. For the British, the journey to Bengkulu was very difficult. At the time, the shipping journey from England to Bengkulu took 8 months. There were also battles with local residents. In 1714 until 1719, the British founded Fort Marlborough under the leadership of the Deputy Governor of the England East Company (EIC), namely Joseph Collet. However, because of Joseph Collet arrogance, when the fort was completed in 1719, the people of Bengkulu, under the leadership of Prince Jenggalu, attacked the British troops at Ujung Karang and Fort Marlborough. Finally, Fort Marlborough was captured and the British were forced to leave Bengkulu. This heroic event is still commemorated as the anniversary of Bengkulu City. Apart from England, the Dutch occupied Bengkulu in 1824 until 1942. In 1942, the Netherlands lost against Japan. Then the Japanese were in Bengkulu for approximately 3 years. Since 1713, Fort Marlborough was built complete in 1719, which is still standing today. However, over time, this company realized that the place was not profitable because it could not produce sufficient quantities of paper. Since the implementation of the London Agreement in 1824, Bengkulu was handed over to the Dutch in the return from Malacca, as well as confirmation of ownership of Temasek or Singapore and Belitung Island. Since that agreement, Bengkulu has become part of the Dutch East Indian. The discovery of gold deposit in the Rejang Lebong area in the second half of the 19th century made this place a gold mining center until the 20th century. Currently, commercial mining activities have been stopped since the deposit ran out. In the 1930, Bengkulu became a place of exile from a number of activities supporting independence, including Sukarno. It was during this time that Sukarno met Fatmawati, who would later become his wife. After Indonesia independence, Bengkulu became a residence in South Sumatra province. Only since November 1968 has its status been upgraded to become the 26th youngest province after East Timor. Okay everyone, thank you for your attention. See you and goodbye.